What is going on, my friends? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to episode 14 of building the world's first all-wheel drive Honda Civic Type R. And when I say Type R, I mean new Type R. This is a 2021 K24 all-wheel drive. And what we're going to be working on today is finishing up, or starting off with finishing up the rear subframe. So yesterday we completed the fuel cells for the car, or almost completed. They're not all the way done yet. We still need a transfer tube. We need to finish up the filler neck. There's a couple little things to do on the cells, but we're waiting for some parts to come in to finish those up. We did have to make a modification to the subframe. So factory, this 90 degrees not here. This tube right here would run straight out right where the tank is currently sitting and bolt on right there. And to get the tanks far enough away from the driveline and rear diff, we're doing a 90 out and then another 90. Let me grab a piece of pipe and show you exactly what we're doing. Get around the fuel cell. This guy is gonna be welded on like that. And then as you can see, it lines up perfectly with that hole. And what we're gonna do on this end here is just weld in a little spacer like they have on the factory subframe right there. Stock, it's kind of just squished in, but this being schedule 40, that'd be impossible to squish in with the tools that I have. I have that thing, but I don't think the 20 ton would be enough to get that to squish. So let's go ahead, get this guy tacked up. I'm gonna bevel this edge right here, just so it's not a complete butt match right to that pipe right there. So we can get a little bit of material, welding material in there so it's nice and strong. Let's go ahead and get that ground down real quick, get it tacked up on the car, and then we can do the same thing on the driver's side. So I decided to drill the hole first so I can get this thing bolted exactly where it wants to sit to the frame rail, and then we can go ahead and tack it up because I don't want it sitting like at some weird angle on the frame rail. So I think that is the best move. Got a little pilot hole. Now let's slop a big hole and bolt her up. That guy is ready to be tacked up, nice and beautiful. Of course, we need to reinforce this plate right here back to the bar, but that'll be easy. We can take care of that later on. We got everything tacked up exactly where it needs to be. We can fully weld this in now, and then we can move on to plating this back to the bar. I don't know if it's completely necessary, but that's how it was factory. Interrupting today's video to talk to you guys about today's video sponsor, AG1. AG1 is empowering people to take ownership of their own health. They believe that giving your body the nutrition it needs should be simple. AG1 is a comprehensive daily nutrition that is made powerfully simple. It's made up of 75 high-quality, whole-sourced ingredients, including vitamins, minerals, superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens, carefully created to nourish all of the body's systems holistically. Essential daily routines like AG1 help us set our intentions and keep us moving in a healthy direction. This is something that I recommend taking every single morning. If you lack energy throughout the day and you rely heavily on caffeine like I used to, AG1 helps give you sustained energy throughout the entire day. All you need is 1 scoop of the powder or one of the travel packs, about 8 ounces of water. Go ahead and mix it up in your blender bottle and you are good to go for the entire day. Go to www.athleticgreens.com/Devin Niemela to get started on your order. AG1 is giving you guys a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and 5 free travel packs with your very first purchase. Thank you, AG1, for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to work. We got these bars nice and welded up right here and on the inside. Inside was a bit tricky. Now we just need to replate from right here back to the bar, and we should hopefully be done with all rear subframe mods. Gonna start off with this initial plate and then just build from there. I don't think it's gonna be the cleanest patch job in the world, but it's definitely gonna do the trick. All right, this here's what we ended up with. Pretty beefy, all plated in. While we have the subframe out, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of one other thing that I think is gonna be an issue. This right here, this little hump, it's very close to the axles, even when the car is up in the air. So I'm gonna go ahead and notch that out as well. And then this nut right here, this needs to be flipped onto the other side because the fuel cell sits on this side and there's no way to get that bolt through. So I'm gonna pop that off, weld it on that side, and then the subframe should be done. So here's a before, all OE, right in the way of our CVs. And here's an after. Got about a solid 2 inches of clearance extra now. Should be good. All right, next thing on today's agenda is some axle stuff. We got the front axle shafts back in from Dutchman, fully modified, resplined, lengthened, all the things that we needed done. So provided that we provided them with proper length, we should be able to completely reassemble our front axles today. Rears have not showed up yet, driveline's still not done, but we're getting there. Ooh. These things are beefy. Sheesh, very nice. These guys are bare steel and I would prefer to not have them rusty. So I'm gonna coat them, but before we coat them, let's go ahead and make sure we got our measurements down right. So I'm gonna do just a quick mock-up, quick reassembly with the CV joints themselves. Go ahead, get them on the car with the new half shaft. And the half shaft that we're running is the Insane shafts with the steel carrier instead of the aluminum. I heard the aluminum can break quite easy. The Type R is steel as well. This is the guy that we're gonna be running. But yeah, quick mock-up. If everything checks out like I think it will, then we can pull them back apart and slap down some coating. So here we have the passenger side, driver side, half shaft. Let's go ahead and get everything up front assembled and make sure these are good to go. Well, friends, I'm very disappointed right now because we need one axle remade. This passenger side, fully torqued down here. And if we zoom in, as you can see, that thing is at the very end of the cup. And this is what it should look like Come to the driver's side, nut is on, and you can see the star is buried pretty far deep into the cup. It's at about the midway point. And the reason why we messed up on this side is a pretty dumb reason. Just being impatient. Let me show you guys exactly what happened. This guy here is what we did the mock-ups off of for the CV axle length on the passenger side. So this goes into the trans. This will bolt onto the back of the motor. I was told that is the length that the car is gonna need. And I was also told that is gonna be the same length as our Insane Shafts one. But as you can see, if we go line these guys up here, okay, lined up there. That, my friends, is why our CV axle is too short. Now you may be wondering and thinking, why don't we just use this one? We could just use this one, but if I'm gonna build this car, I'm gonna do it right. I know these things do break under a high horse. To me, it's worth the peace of mind and a couple extra $100 and the couple of weeks worth of waiting to just use the Insane Shafts half shaft and get the CV axle remade. Lesson learned, gotta be patient with those kind of things. But let's move on and figure out what we're gonna do for the rest of the engine mounts on the car. So right now we have the driver's side and passenger side made. I built those myself. That was like the first thing we ever did with this build is that guy and build that guy. Now we're gonna go ahead and try and figure out the rear mount. We cannot use the traditional rear mount for like a K-swap, which looks like this. This guy here, there's no space back there due to the electric power steering motor. So the next best option is to grab a Z3 oil pan. This is a K20 Z3. I think it's like 06 to 11. Civic SI came with this pan. This guy here, nice aluminum pan. This is actually from a PLM and it's for a turbo car. The only difference being they just include this turbo return bung here, and then I got a factory mount for the Z3 pan. I'm gonna go put a bolt in there, put 2 bolts in there maybe, and hopefully this helps us at least get in the right direction for a rear mount on the car. And let me show you guys why I think this is gonna be a huge help. And if we're lucky, it may even just completely resolve our problem. This is, of course, the 2019 CRV subframe. On the CRV, they have the same style of rear mount that the Civic Si does. So we should be able to go from the Z3 oil pan right to that pocket right there. And I picked up just this cheap eBay motor mount. I may have to remake it, not exactly sure, but that's gonna go in the pocket. Hopefully this side will bolt right to the oil pan. Highly doubt this guy's gonna be the proper length right off the bat. I might have to remake this thing. We'll see. And also, it's a little ironic, it doesn't even fit. That's what we get for eBay parts. Let's go ahead and pull this factory pan off the car, and we can do a quick mock-up with the new Z3 pan, and hopefully that gives us some direction. Beautiful. Pretty clean though. I don't see anything crazy in here. I'm hoping the Z3 pan will just bolt right up with no mods. Also, I guess I should probably give you guys a shout out because I got this idea from some of the comments. A lot of Honda experts in the comment sections, which always helps. This thing's so damn bulky, it might not even fit in between the motor and the subframe. Please fit. Well, that side fits into the subframe, which that's a plus. This might work. It might just bolt right on. It's gonna be kind of hard to tell until we shave this mount down a little bit so it actually fits the engine side. But it looks like it might just be a direct fit, bolt right on, and we're done. Which would be kind of kind of Honda-like, it seems like. I feel like everything I touch on this car is just, it's just meant to be. I'm gonna give this thing a quick shaving and get her to slide on in there. Decided just to pull one of the little collars out just for a mock-up, so we're not sitting there grinding for nothing. Not a direct fit. It's close, but not direct. So instead of trying to shorten and modify the torque mount, I think the best option is going to be just to completely remake this mount right here. It should be fairly simple. I'm gonna build a base plate, build 2 tabs that come off of it, and we should be done. So let's go ahead and build the base right now, get the base bolted up on the engine, and then we can build these 2 little ears, get it all welded up, and we'll have a rear mount. All right, the initial base plate is finished up. Hopefully she lines up. Now we have the 2 ears that are gonna be welded onto the base plate. So the first thing I'm gonna do is drill the holes. I'll bolt these to the pitch stop mount. I think that's what it's called. I'm gonna call it a pitch stop mount. Drill the holes, bolt it to the pitch stop mount, tack it up, pull it off, fully weld it in, and we will be done with one more motor mount. Of course, we just had to run out of gas, so I cannot finish welding up our motor mount, but all the hard work is done. Grab some gas Monday, finish welding her up, we'll be good to go. The rear mount was way easier than I expected. I'm still trying to figure out what we should do for a front mount. I'm not sure if it's even required. Of course, the stock Type R does not have any sort of front mount, but then if you look at like an Evo, they do. And I know a lot of guys that K-swap, like older EG or EK or something like that, they usually go ahead and run some sort of front mount. But I'm just trying to figure out what exactly I want to build for that, or if it's even necessary. Feel free to drop a comment in the comment section below and let me know. As of right now, we have the driver's side, passenger side, and the rear, but nothing for the front. I know they make some sort of mid plate, and the mid plate would typically bolt onto the trans right here and right here, but being that we run the Z3 pan, the Z3 pan now bolts right there. Can't really do that. We do have these 2 mounting locations on the trans that we could always build some sort of bracket off of, kind of similar to like an Evo 10 or any sort of Evo, I guess. And then we could do some sort of bar from right here forward. Yeah, I think that'd be the easiest option if it's even necessary. Gonna wrap it up right here. Kind of a shame that we couldn't get the front axles done, but I learned my lesson. Be patient with big builds like this. Can't rush everything. Cannot rush the process. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out, my friends, and I'll see you guys in the next video.